Okay, I want to revisit another topic because a lot of dots are being connected over here, and I'm revisiting things that I guess I'm kind of revisiting some of the obstacles that I encountered along my journey with figuring this shit out. Learning how to navigate in the courts, understanding what they're doing, and the procedures as to how to defend myself, pretty much. And I'm looking at this video. This is an old video. I'm gonna come out of there for a second. As you can see, this video is from another channel, Understanding Basic Government and Persons and Your Status. Okay. This is by Kent Bay. I'm not a subscriber there, but I did a search, this specific search right here, and I found this video, which I saw years ago. So it's a very old video. So I'm going to play a part of it, and I'm gonna connect the dots as we go. So just follow me, okay? I'm saying because I'm doing this video really to kind of help people who are just starting and they really didn't know where to go and where to start. Researching and understanding what the straw man is all about and how people in the commercial world are to interact with each other using the straw man and not believing, comprehending the fact that you're not the straw man. Okay, so you're the straw man. You're not the straw man. You're actually the beneficiary, the one that's supposed to control the straw man, use the straw man to your benefit to conduct business, okay? But let's just play this here and I'll keep it going. Let's go.
Congressman West, is it time for the government to be shut down if the White House and Congress can't agree in order to force the president's hand and compel him to do what we hired him to do, which is run the government within the confines of the Constitution and only with the money he collects from taxes and other fees?
Well, you're absolutely right, Judge. What we have to look at is the president is the chief executive officer of this corporation called the United States of America. The president is the chief executive officer of this corporation called the United States of America.
If it's a corporation and you are a citizen / member of a corporation, there's nothing for you to be but a employee / servant.
We have two fabulous scholars that are here to talk about a subject we actually don't get to talk about very much, which is corporations and the extent of their constitutional protections. And maybe ask the big question, how in the world did that happen? We have to my immediate left, Kent Greenfield, who's professor of law and Michael and Helen Lee Distinguished Scholar at Boston College Law School. Kent has a number of distinctions, including the fact that he has a forthcoming book called Corporations Are People Too, and They Should Act Like It.
Your body as a corporation. No, that's a whole story. We could talk for hours on this, but your body as a corporation.
Of cells, you mean?
No. It's called, and by law, your body, your physical body is a corporation. Mm-hmm. And so when you die, you're a corpse. Because when you're living, you're a corporation. You are a business. And
this is part of the stuff that one of the things that actually, I forgot this guy's name, but he actually, in your beginning stages is someone that really you will listen to him because a lot of things he's speaking is facts. But that part where he says that you're a corporation is flawed. No living man is a corporation. Okay? The thing is, we think that we are because we think if you think you're the straw man, then you're gonna get treated like one. Okay, you're not a business entity. He's basically just telling this man he's an artificial person. Okay, that's basically what he was just saying, because that's what a corporation is. A corporation is an artificial person. And there are two different types of persons in the commercial world, according to the language of the commercial world. There are two different types of persons, and we're going to visit that as well. I'm gonna see if I can play a little bit more of this first, and I'm going to go ahead and come on out of it.
and hanging out with that person is bad business.
Right.
Or who I hang out with is none of your business.
Right.
Because your body is a business.
Wow.
And so you say, well, what you're doing with her or him is bad business.
Right.
But of course, if you're getting married and she's very wealthy, you say she's of good stock, right? Words and terms are based on maritime admiralty, the law of water.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because I don't want to be playing too much of these people's, material, their content, and I don't want to do that. Just out of respect for the channel. Okay, let's go into what person is. Okay, as you can see, this is the 2009 Black's Law Dictionary. First thing you see right here is a person saying it's a human being. But you got to keep on going. As you see where it says it's also termed natural person. So a natural person, generally in common, like say in the streets, in common law jurisdiction, or just when you're not in the commercial world, a human being, when you say a person, you're talking about a man or woman, or anybody, a human being. It don't have to be a man or a woman. It could be a child too, a offspring or whatever. But keep in mind, look at this dictionary right here. It has all types of persons in here. Okay, all types of persons. Oh, let me scroll down, scroll up. Interested person, all these types of person not deceased, person of interest, private person. See what I'm saying? A person who does not hold public office or serve in the military. Civil law saying entities such as a corporation or partnership that is governed by private law. That's why it's a private person. Okay. It's an entity though. Okay, so it's a person it's private. Okay. Now keep going. Protected person, BIM, artificial person. This is what's the guy's name? The man that was just talking in the video. Damn, I don't know why I can't remember that man's name. And I used to know his name by heart, but he's all over the internet. But he's been around a while. But very well known for the most part, but I don't remember his name. But artificial person is what he literally just accused that guy of being. Is a corporation. He's a business. See, it says an entity, artificial person, an entity such as a corporation created by law and given certain legal rights and duties of a human being. A being, a real or it's a real or imaginary. See, a being real or imaginary who, for the purpose of legal reasoning, is treated more or less as a human being. See, but it's an artificial person. It's a difference. The entity, an entity is a person for the purpose of the due process, for the purpose of due process and equal protection clauses, but is not a citizen. But is not a citizen for the purpose of the private for the privileges and immunity clauses in Article 4. I guess that's for subsection 2 in the 14th Amendment. Okay, also termed fictitious person, juristic person. Okay, you know what I'm saying? All these different terms. It's about legal persons, moral person. What does it say? Juridical person. All these are like artificial. These are not people. These are not people that are real. These are entities that entities that living men and women use as a go-between, as a vessel to go between, to enter into the commercial world. In order to do business, you need your straw man. Just like a living man and woman, they sit at a table saying one wants to sell a house to the other. And in order for them to do that, they need, say they want to create an affidavit or a deed or something. They're going to be putting their straw man's name on that deed. But they're both going to sign on behalf of the straw man, because keep in mind the name in all caps is the straw man, and that is the entity, the legal fiction. That's the fiction, the artificial person, as you can see. It's treated. They try to treat it as if it's a human, but it's really not. It's really artificial. Okay, say such as a corporation created by law and given certain legal rights and duties of a human being, but it's not a human being. Okay, say being real or imaginary. Okay, real or imaginary. So it's not. So the straw man is not real at all. It's, you know, it was created when you were born. Keep in mind, if you go back to my previous videos, I was showing where your certificate of live birth, the live birth was the baby, the umbilical cord and the placenta with the pulsation, the moving of the limb, the beating of the heart, all that collectively, whether it was connected or disconnected, it was all considered a live birth. So even when they disconnected the placenta still was a live birth because it was still pulsating even after it was disconnected from the umbilical cord. The baby was cut, the umbilical cord was cut from the baby. Everything was still pulsating for a certain period of time. So it still was considered a live birth. That's what the artificial person was. Now, I mean, that's what they created the artificial person was. That's what they named after the baby. That's my theory right there, because of the fact that it has the same name as you. The placenta that came out of your mother right after you came out of your mother was connected to you. You know, so you, of course, you're gonna have the same name, and that's what the principle came from, because they had to actually put, you know, keep in mind the organ is worth. If you look at your Google search, you'll find that a placenta is worth $50,000 right about now if you donate one. So and you can go back and look at my previous videos. I showed the proof on that. You know, you can go Google that anyway. But you can see the placenta was worth 50 grand off the rip, just donating one. And so you abandon that property when you come out of your mother. You come out of your father. Yeah, you come out of your father. You come out of your mother, and your mother and your father, y'all never claimed it. They never claimed it. So it's abandoned property. They took it, they use it for lab testing or whatever else they use it on, you know. That's what they said in the video, my previous videos. Go back and look at those. You'll see it's a video I did saying what do they do with the placenta or something like that. And you'll see it. I showed all the sources that explain what I'm talking about. But they created the artificial person keep in mind, once it deceases, once it stops pulsating, the placenta that is, now it's deceased. Okay, so now they want to say that you're dead. Part of it is you're dead. The name in all capitalized letters, named after you, in all caps. They put it in all caps in most cases because they needed to conduct business with. It's to represent something that's artificial now. It's not the real man. It's not the real woman. Okay, but it's for your benefit. You got to know how to control that thing. Go and get, you have to control it. Once you reach the age of 18, the age of majority, you're supposed to take control of it. We're gonna talk about that another time. I don't want to talk about that online right about now. But back to artificial persons. That's what artificial persons came from. You're not the artificial person. You're the one that's supposed to use that artificial person to conduct business with it. But you're actually the beneficiary for it. Okay, this is one of the reasons why, and I brought this up mainly because I thought about the security agreement that people were telling me about when I first was starting. The security agreement, when they talking about doing a UCC filing or whatever, and they want you to do a security agreement, and every single time somebody sent me some type of template or whatever, it was a security agreement where the living man is actually contracting with a legal fiction. And when you get a little more seasoned when it comes to these studies, you'll learn that the living cannot contract with the dead. That's all that the courts here, they deal with people through the fiction, but they can't speak directly to the living man. That's why a lot of you catch hell when you go to court saying, I'm the living man, I'm not that name, I'm not the name, and they try to railroad you anyway. They know you're a living man. You're standing there in front of them. They're dealing with trust. The all caps name is also a trust. It's not only a legal fiction. It's not only an artificial person, but it's a trust. Okay, and when you fund the trust, I just told you what they use to fund the damn trust. That's my theory anyway. Okay, so I don't see nothing else they could be using the trust. That they can use to fund the trust other than what the mother abandoned, which was the placenta, because she never claims it. Okay, but I'm trying to stay on topic. But when you have this, you got this security agreement, you're trying to do a contract with something that you actually like, the straw man can do no thing without a living man acting on his behalf. So it makes no sense to me for you to sit here and say you're doing a private security agreement with something that you got to sign on behalf of both of them. You make an agreement with yourself. Not with yourself, because you're not the straw man, but a contract, a valid contract, it requires two or more parties to be in agreement to the terms of the said contract. So you can't contract with yourself. That's not a contract. It's just a decision that you just made. So it's not really a contract. So that's why this never sat well with me doing a private agreement, a private security agreement, because, when they're saying you do a UCC file and you got to make sure you have your security agreement in there. And this is why this never sat well with me. And I never did one. I received them. I got all kind of templates in my emails, never used any of them because it did not sit well with me. How can you contract? How can the living contract with the dead? I was looking for that case law where it was talking about when it was saying the government is a creature of the law, and it's a creature of the mind only, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but they can only communicate with other entities. Entity can only communicate with other entities, just like men and women can only communicate with men and women. So you're not walking businesses. They will see LeBron James, for instance. I'm sure he probably got a EIN number or a DUNS number connected to his name, because his name in all caps is a business. It's a business because of the fact that he chose to use that name to conduct business. Take for instance, say 50 Cent, the rapper. Curtis Jackson is his middle name. His is his real name, not his middle name. His real name, Curtis Jackson. Okay, but 50 Cent is the name he does business with. I'm sure there are some things that some situations, like say when he's doing movies, you may see on the credit screen where it says Curtis, quote unquote, 50 Cent, quote, your open quote, 50 Cent, close quote, Jackson. And you'll see an upper lowercase, you'll see that's the name he's doing business with, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. But all these different entities, these are different entities that you're using to conduct business for whatever purpose you're trying to do it for. But you're using that name to conduct business. Just like if you look on the Bar Association website and you type in any public official, whatever state you're in, go to that state bar and you type in whatever public official that works for the state, and you type their name in the search bar, you'll find their name and it'll say active and in good standing. It's just like it does when you look up an LLC. You look up an LLC that's active. It says active and in compliance or in good standing or whatever. Because what they're doing is they reckon that they registered that name as a business entity, and it looks just like the name that's on the Social Security number. But I'm sure they have DUNS numbers now. They since they're not trying to be taxpayers, they're trying to be independent contractors, so to speak. Private entities, public, they work for the public. You know what I mean by that. But they're dealing with, they're not trying to use the social. I'm sure they're probably not using the social, but I don't know what they're using. But bottom line is their name is in all caps, and it's a commercial entity. It's an entity that they use as a go-between to conduct business. But you can't be both of them. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm John Henry Doe and I'm going to sign John Henry Doe on one line, and then I'm gonna sign my name on the other line and act like that's a valid contract. Cause it's me signing the same damn document. I'm signing on both lines. So you can't have a damn contract or private security agreement. It's just you and you. UCCs, I looked in there, I was looking in the county records one day. And I was looking up, I was being nosy. I looked at my brother-in-law, married to my sister. In Georgia, and I was just looking up his name, just typed it up, and I saw a security agreement where he actually did business concerning some workout equipment, and the company actually filed a UCC financing statement on him, on his name, and they made them as a secured party and him being the debtor, his straw man being the debtor, and that company being the creditor. So you got to use this stuff properly, and these things weren't done right when we made this shit up. I don't know who made this up where you actually got a contract, you having a contract with your. That's probably one of the reasons I never saw anybody get our child support using this type of stuff right here to get our child support, because it don't make sense. How are you trying to make you contracting with the dead? It just never sat right with me. I never understood that. So why anybody would even make that up? It never sat well with me, and I never did one. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and shut the rest of this down. But this is what I thought about when I saw this right here. It's signed. It say sign this security agreement, and here it is. You trying to, something that don't even exist. You sitting here trying to do I'm just saying. This is what it looks like when I'm talking about doing a security agreement with a goddamn something that don't even exist. And there's no meeting of the minds when the corporate fiction does not even exist, and it's just you. So how is there a meeting of the minds when it's just you? You're the only one doing the signing. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna get on off of here. I get a little long with it. I'm sure y'all seem like I ain't took no damn breath talking. But I'm gonna get on off of here, y'all, and end it right here and see you on the next video. M. Rose signing out.